Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We're joined by Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., and Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Wizards hosted the Phoenix Suns tonight. Um, for much of the game, Washington left a bit to be desired. The fourth quarter showed a ton of fight. They narrowed what was it, like maybe 20-point deficit, whittled it down to, I think, six, a little bit lower at one point, and couldn't get it done. They turned over the ball a couple times down the stretch. One of the possessions, I don't know what the full play was, if that was the play, what the shot was. Either way, that sandwiched by two turnovers um, kind of took some of the steam out of a really good rally, which showed what this group could be capable of. Because things looked like it was done. Phoenix, they took out Durant like maybe the last 8 minutes of the game, whatnot, and he had to come back in because of the run Washington made. Um, Cardell, I'll let you start, and then Ray, just your thoughts on this one, especially the stark difference between what we saw in the first half or much of the first three quarters, and then how things got kind of tight late.
Uh, Honestly, in this game, it was just a battle of which defense was the worst the longest, honestly. And the Wizards ended up being that. Look, you can't you can't allow a team to shoot 51% from the field and 47% from deep, but 83% from the free throw line. In the first half, which was ridiculous, they allowed 79 points. Yeah, they had 69 points in the first half, but they allowed the Suns to shoot 62% from the field, 56% from three. You just not going to win. You're not even going to be in a position to win any games with allowing the team to shoot like that. But on the flip side, the Phoenix Suns team defense isn't much better, and they allowed the Wizards to get back in, especially in that fourth quarter. Uh, when they got hot, when it looked like the game was over, they were up 20 in the fourth quarter. The Wizards kept fighting. Everybody youngins, especially Keyshawn George. They were ballistic in the fourth quarter. Keyshawn had 10 of their 40 points. Justin and Champagne added 8. But in that quarter, they shot 55%, 55% from the field, 45% from deep, and 71% from the line. And they only turned the ball over 3 times. So they didn't beat themselves. They played sound defense. They held Phoenix to 31% shooting in that quarter and 33% shooting from deep. So that lineup in the fourth quarter, they went to work and they fought. They just fought and they got hot. They got in the rhythm. They was hitting shots to the point where they had to put Phoenix had to put their starters back in the game to try to close out the game, which they did. Keyshawn George hit a big three, got him within three, and then Devin Booker came right back, hit a three. And that was kind of like the dagger. They never got closer than 6 for the rest of the game. But it shouldn't have had to come to that, to be honest, man. So I know Phoenix, they won, but I know they it's not one of the wins where you're enthusiastic about looking at film the next day because they had a lot of breakdowns themselves. But it also just goes to show you with the Wizards why we all know what the situation is, developing the youngest, getting ready for the draft or whatnot. But it's still a lot of frustration because they do a lot of things to beat themselves. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to wait till the fourth quarter to play. You have 3 other quarters where if you brought that same fight, that same energy on both ends of the floor that you brought in the floor for the first 3 quarters, this could have been easily a different game. You see what I'm saying? And, it's just what it is, man. So I have my theories on why that is. I'm not going to get into that tonight because it is what it is. But that's all it was to me, man. It's just a battle of non-defenses and who's going to hold up the longest. And Phoenix ended up playing stronger defense longer for a longer stretch than the Wizards. And that's why they were able to pull out the game.
Right.
Yeah, man. My main point is one of Cardell's last points. Bring that fourth quarter energy in the first 3 quarters. It's fairly simple, man. You're in a much better position. Like you said, man, it's not like Phoenix was playing all that great defensively. You can take advantage of that. And it didn't seem like they they really forced the issue until their backs were completely against the wall in the fourth quarter, and they were down 20, and they just willed themselves back in the game. I mean, that's cool and all, but you can't just be out there aimless for for 36 minutes and then try to get it all back. Very very few teams can can operate that way. And even if you can, that's just not that's not the way to do things. But yeah, the young guys continue to impress. I love the fight they showed. They don't care who's in front of them. They bring that level pretty much on a consistent basis. So so yeah, I don't know what the how to make that more consistent throughout um throughout the entire roster, but they were in a position where um we kind of knew what this season was going to look like for the Wizards. But yeah, man, it got to a point where Phoenix just had to bring the guns back in and close things out, which they were able to do.
Yeah, it was just staying on the topic and just the willingness to fight. That's what was just bothering me most of the game. Was we had a couple folks out there where Phoenix just attacking them, and they want no parts of it. Then conversely, you look at the fourth quarter. I felt like the Wizards were attacking Phoenix on the defensive end, and we saw them get back into that game with a ton of stops. Phoenix kept turning the ball over. Washington, more oftentimes than not, had something to do with it. And like Carter, and you mentioned, where you had to go bring folks back into the game because they thought things were already settled. Um, Shout out to Corey Kispert coming off the bench is one of the. I know he's not a vet, but one of the older folks coming off the bench and really fighting. We know the youngsters do as is. Shout out to Champagne. I kind of throw him in the youngster group, even though he's not, in the same age bracket. But those dudes really came and they turned the game around on that part of the floor, the part of the floor that we've been talking about for a couple of years. That's where it turned over at for them. But yeah, you can't. Where Phoenix, I think after the first half, Cardell brought up the stats. Like their field goal percentage was near the free throw percentage. Those two things shouldn't even be remotely near each other. And if they are, that clearly means you're missing free throws. However, it also means you're going crazy from field goal standpoint. 60 plus from the floor, 58 from three, whatever. Little to no resistance. It just can't be like that. And Phoenix, they got a couple guys who, if you heard of them, do a pretty good job of scoring the basketball. If they could sense folks out there that want any parts, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna find those people and go about their business. But yeah, it was good to see the fight late, but that's just again, it's just frustrating for me to watch. I'd much rather just let the kids rock out, take the good with the bad. As Cardell laid it out already, I know why that can't happen. Again, just talk about my preference, my wish, whatever. Can't come true. Is I appreciate the fight that a portion of this roster brings to the table, night in, night out. Um, and that's what's frustrating at times because who knows how things turn out if that's if afforded the opportunity. But again, you can't let somebody come out and essentially shoot around numbers. I don't think Devin Booker felt a defender for 4 quarters. You can't live like that. Player of the game for you guys?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna roll with Devin Booker. Close the game out, hit the big three, and when Wizards got it within three late, and he put up the big number, had almost 40, controlling the game, playing a lot of point guard, and doing this thing, scoring the ball. You can't knock it. Wasn't the most efficient night from the field overall, but he shot 40% from three and got to the line crazy, 13 to 15, um, 5 assists, did a little bit of everything, 2 steals. It was his night. He was pretty much the difference, especially down the stretch.
Right.
Yeah, I went with Book as well. Yeah, he just put pressure on the Wizards the whole way throughout, and yeah, just kind of shut the door on them when they were making their rally at the end.
Yeah, you guys said also look, he started the game strong. They got off to that quick 7-0 lead. I think it was 16-2 at one point. He had 8 of the 16. And then again, as Cardell mentioned, they Washington cuts it within 3, and he responds immediately with a quarter 3. Kind of like let's calm things down for his team. X Factor tonight.
I'm gonna go with Ryan Dunn, man. 18 points, 11 rebounds, and it was close between him and Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen was bombing him throughout the game, something serious. But Ryan Dunn with the 18 points and the 11 rebounds plus his defense, man. He made Kuzma just pretty much non-existent. Was guarding KD, and even when he switched out on Poole, made things. Well, he started out on Poole a lot. He started out on him in the first quarter, and Poole finished 6 for 16. He only had 18. Didn't really play enough for, so he made his impact on defense, and he made his impact in other areas as well. Finishing with a double-double.
Ray, you had another candidate. You also going with Dunn.
I cheated the system and went with Ryan Dunn and Grayson Allen.
All right, I can't argue with that. I think I went Ryan Dunn too. What he's brought here to do. His role on the team is a defensive stopper. A double-double is that's a couple cherries on top right there in terms of what you asked for him. And then for long stretches, I was impressed with how well he moved without the ball. He did a great job moving without the ball all throughout the game. Like really timely cuts. Obviously, everyone knows about the whole thing with the jumper and the 3-point shot or whatnot, but he was somehow getting lost by Washington defenders on a regular basis, cutting straight to the front of the rim. So just credit to him for that. It's a rookie. Give credit where it's due. And they needed every bit of that tonight too. Definitely, he's a big part of whatever happens for them this season. He's a big part of it. He fills a role that they sorely need. So shout out to him for that. As for Washington, you guys know they head out on the road. Literally very soon. The next time we talk to you guys, they'll be out west. I think they're playing Golden State on Saturday. So we'll check in with you guys after that one. But again, a furious rally late. Just not enough as Phoenix leaves DC with a 130-123 win.